Welcome back to Grandmaster Pod, episode 2. Isn't that something? I'm so excited right now. I finally got my headphones here. Didn't have those last time. And it just feels good to be back in the dojo. Are you with me? I've got my coffee over here this time. I've got a little salted caramel thing that I made. And I've got my water here too, my water. And I'm very excited to be back. Grandmaster is in the dojo. Sammy's dojo. Sammy Jojo. So, thank you guys so much for watching. And the first episode's already at 10K, which is great. I didn't have any expectations. I didn't really know what to think. If anyone was going to watch it or if it was going to do super well or not. But I thought it was going to do worse than it did, which is great. The reception was really good. You guys are awesome. It's so nice to be able to hear myself. I can't tell if it's distracting me or not, but I like it. So let's get right into the news. It was Valentine's Day recently, guys. Did you do anything? I know I did. Yeah, Valentine's Day happened the other day. Today is Saturday night. And Sammy Jo and I had a good Valentine's Day. Super fun. We decided to cook. Now, your boy, this is something that I do all the time as far as someone who pretends they can cook and then can cook. You always say you can cook. This is a tip for you and your girlfriend, your wife, whoever. You say you can cook, and then when the time comes to cook, you just do it. That's it. There's no other option. You just do it. You just cook, and then it turns out, usually, for me, it turns out, I don't know if it'll turn out for you, but if you're in the dojo and you're trying to cook, this is the cooking class, baby. I can teach you how to cook properly, too. Something good. We had fucking fish, man. Fish. That's a dangerous cook, but super easy also, because you can just like throw oil in it. But can I just tell you for a second? Can you sit down and listen to the fucking recipe I made? Made a batter, right? So egg, dip the fish in egg, put it in the flour. Then I fucking crushed up salt and vinegar Lay's chips, and you make the batter have salt and vinegar chips, crushed up chips, and it's fucking amazing. Anyways, I still got your white belt, I see. Yeah, I'm talking to you. If you just watched this, you're still on your white belt. I don't know yet. I think what I'm going to do is like fun titles for you guys. You know, people who just pop in to listen, who don't really give a fuck, white belts. You know, visitors. But the more you watch, the more I recognize your face, you can go up to a black belt, baby. You know? I like that. Isn't that fun? Sammy Jo likes it. Now, I hope the audio's good today, too, because I don't have the cloud lifter connected, because for some reason, with the cloud lifter connected, there's a ton of gain. I don't know why. No, I mean, not too much gain. The gain's fine, but there's a weird, you might have heard it in the last podcast. So go listen to it. I don't know if anyone gives a shit, but go listen to it. You watch any cool movies lately? I know I did. In the dojo, Sammy Jo and I watched The Animal yesterday. It was her first time. And we watched it because she said, I want to watch something silly. And I want to watch something stupid. And I said, I know the perfect movie. Because it was up on Hulu. And by the way, Hulu's fucking awesome. I've been using Netflix forever, and I fucking love Netflix. And Netflix is great. But Hulu just has all of these other shows and movies that Netflix doesn't. It feels like a whole new world. Yeah, like The Animal. It has Hannah Montana. Sammy Jo loves it that it's Hannah Montana. And if you don't like that there's Hannah Montana, then get the fuck out of the dojo. Because it's my dojo, baby. It's good to be back. I love this. I'm not starting to wonder, but I started to think about, will I ever run out of things to say on this podcast because it's a weekly thing? Yes, absolutely. And sometimes in the dojo, we have little voice cracks. That's okay, though. Coffee break. Everyone sip on your coffee together, okay? 1, 2, 3. No, so I don't know if I want to do that. Sammy Jo just said, you could ask people to comment topics. But I don't want people to know the topics. Also, the fucking podcast is on Spotify, and it should go up on Tuesdays. I think it takes about 24 to 48 hours after I put it through the system for it to actually go up. So Tuesdays, I think we're going to work this out and we're going to figure this out together, because maybe I'm not even the black belt yet in the dojo. I mean, I'm Grandmaster, but that just means because I started the podcast and I started this. God, welcome back to the dojo. What else do we have here? Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about Animal a little bit. If you haven't seen Animal, you're missing out. It's Rob Schneider. Rob Schneider's amazing. He's so funny. This is like, for me, one of the like peak Rob Schneider movies. Schneider, whatever, man. He's not even in the dojo. He's an honorary dojo member, honorary orange belt. But it's such a funny movie, man. It's that classic comedy that is stupid, but it doesn't go too far with it. Like, you don't feel like you're watching Scary Movie 1 or 2, which I fucking love those too. But those are like, you can get sick of that shit, but you don't get sick of this. This is like a classic. It's got to be a classic, right? Like, some movies you just watch and you say, oh, that's a classic. But is it a fucking classic? I think it is. I'm fairly sure. Sammy Joe and I don't have a dog. Now, you're all probably wondering that. That's why I said it. I can read minds. In the dojo, I can read minds. Outside of the dojo, can't. Can hardly converse. And inside the dojo, I can read minds. Now, anyways, we go to... This is kind of me admitting something too. Okay? And I don't want you to get freaked out. But Sammy Joe and I, on the weekends, we go to dog parks without a dog. Very weird, but also necessary for us, because we want to pet a bunch of dogs. That's it. And it seems like the place to do it. So I don't know if that's weird. Does anyone else go to dog parks just to pet dogs without bringing a dog? Now, granted, we want a dog. We want a little dojo, a little cleaner. Someone, I don't know what he'll be yet or she'll be, but we want one around here. But I need allergy shots. I have the worst fucking allergies in the world. And by that, I mean, so many people have allergies worse than me. But I have very bad allergies. I've got asthma. It affects my working out. I got that asthma. Yeah, I'm not really happy about that either. It was kind of a mistake that we made together. We made that mistake. But I have asthma and terrible allergies. So I'm worried about getting a fucking dog and then hating it and resenting it because I'm allergic to it and I don't want to be around it. But also had dogs my whole life. Don't want my hair to look weird. Thanks. The audio listeners don't know what it looks like, but just imagine a bunch of eggs. Just imagine a bunch of eggs. Anyways, we go to dog parks without a dog. I call us doggy diddlers. Now, that doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound appropriate. But that's what we are. Without actually... we do touch the dogs. So the saying actually works even more than I ever imagined. Just not sexually. We don't touch the dogs sexually. They do touch each other. There was this one dog. He was a Frenchie. And the dog was licking the dick of a bulldog, an English bulldog there. He just wouldn't stop. The poor guy, Eating cereal right now? Did you just spit it out? Try not to. Because there's a dog slicking and slicking the dick of an English bulldog. How does your song go? My song? What song? Sammy Joe asked me what. Oh, yeah. I want to touch the dog's dick. Now it all makes sense why I made that song. But just wanted to let you know, to people that think that that's weird that we go to dog parks without a dog, I'm actually not sorry. No. Holy shit, I just realized I'm not sorry at all. Because we need it. Dog therapy, Now, yeah, I can tell that there's echo in here, for sure. Because that's what some of you were thinking this whole time. You're like, well, there's so much echo. How about now? Is it better? I'm just leaning against the wall. But that's what we do. We're doggy diddlers, dog predators. Now, we'll never hurt any of the dogs. We'll never take any of the dogs, but we might steal one. So that's just how it is. And that's how it has to be. Doggy diddlers. Until we have our own dog. And then everyone there who already knows us completely isn't going to be as weirded out. Did you guys hear about Takashi 6ix9ine? He's a rapper. Who is this guy? No, so you know how he got sentenced to like 48 years or 46 years minimum for a bunch of shit. Just a bunch of things that doesn't matter. If you're in jail for 46 years, you did a bunch of shit. And yeah, up to a lifetime for sure. And so this is, again, alleged because who fucking knows anything about anyone's life other than reading the news? But I don't know how, these sources, if they're credible or not. But Hip Hop DX, is that a credible source? Takashi 69 set to receive no jail time and witness protection with full cooperation. No jail time. So, what the fuck? No jail time? All right. Sounds good. Cool. Let's get him back on the music game. Super weird. What did he do? Do you remember? I'm getting the laptop. That's it? Let's send this motherfucker back to jail right here.
Like 9 counts on it.
9? Is it 9? 9 counts?
Yeah, and he pled guilty.
And pled guilty.
So, I don't know how he went from a lifetime sentence to nothing.
Oh my God, this is fucking amazing. Oh my God, this could be like a segment. So these are comments on the Hip Hop DX article of Takashi 69, the top comment here. And you can like them too. This is amazing. So February 16th. Witness protection? Question mark, question mark. Laugh my assing off. And with those stupid ass face tats too, will be funny as fuck when we read the headlines of this little rat getting murdered. That was a bit intense. Now, I thought it was going to be a funnier comment, but these are very entertaining. Okay, so Minnesota Slick. The 6'9" face tats were a great idea, especially if you planned on going into witness protection. Very good. Takashi 6'9". I am the sweetest, softest blank thug of all time. I'm going to tell you what it said, because that's not me saying it. Quotations. I am the sweetest and softest homo thug of all time. And that was someone pretending to be him. Pretty funny. Putin. This next comment's from Putin. He might be safe in Siberia. Maybe. I like that a lot. Kenny Ken. Hey, he did what he did. So he has to live with that. And like Boozy said, it's gonna be scary, Jack. All right. Well, these comments suck. Get out my face, my friend. Hey, but seeing as it was Valentine's Day, I want to read some Valentine's Day horror stories, vetted, of course, by the best, Sammy Joe. Now, am I just reading these things that you sent me?
These are just ones I found.
Babe, this is like producer cred, like low grade producer cred, almost. Came up with topics for the podcast. You absolutely can. Okay, so I'm going to read these. Probably the worst Valentine's Day present I've ever genuinely bought someone was a dartboard. She said she wanted one, so I assumed it was fine. That I don't think that one's that bad. I think that's just like
I think these are all from
miscommunication.
to be honest.
I'll read a couple more until they get to the point where I don't want to read anymore. Came home dressed as a Hooters girl with hot wings, but hey, they gave my husband horrible diarrhea and he ended up in the hospital for dehydration. That's funny. That's very good. That is a horror story for sure. Wouldn't want that to happen.
How have I not been to the hospital for that?
I don't know how. Sammy Joe has Crohn's and the woman lives in the bathroom.
Yeah.
She lives, yeah, I guess that's true. You don't need the hospital. You just need a bathroom. The bathroom is your hospital. 911? No, this is the toilet. That's exactly who I'm trying to contact. I'm not interested in Valentine's Day. Do not get me anything. Really don't. I believed her. That's good. That's very good. One more. On Valentine's Day, my ex puked during sex. He gave himself food poisoning from the meal he made us. Oh, very good.
Almost you.
Almost me. But didn't give me food poisoning from the fish that I made. The beautiful fish that I made. It didn't give me food poisoning. It only made me feel like I was going to throw up. I didn't get there. And then the gingers. You ever heard of ginger candy? That shit saves you, man. All right, the actual last one. I kept the whole dinner date secret from my girlfriend. She thought I wasn't going to do anything and broke up with me. Oh, wow. You poor soul. Hey, if you do nothing on Valentine's Day, hold on. If you do nothing on Valentine's Day, you deserve to get broken up with. Unless she said,
Planning something.
no, there's no
It's a
circumstance.
surprise, so she thought he was doing nothing.
Exactly.
But he had a plan.
But why didn't she at least wait to see if he was going to surprise her? Unless that was like unlike him, you know? He doesn't surprise me. He's never surprised me. Nope, that's it. He didn't tell me he was going to do anything. I'm breaking up with him. He doesn't deserve this sweet ass, titty ass bitch anymore. All right, there's another thing that I want to do while I learn how to podcast solo. I'm relying on some stories and stuff, but this is my own story. And my last story on the Sugar Pine 7 podcast, Beyond the Pine, went pretty well. Whoever animates those is amazing too. Maybe if he starts watching these and animates anything from here, that'd be fucking amazing. I'll upload them and I'll monetize the shit out of those. Okay? And will I pay you for them? I don't know. Yeah, you'll have to find out. Whoever does it, you know? All right, so I think I'm going to call this segment until I run out of stories. Or maybe I won't run out of stories. But my fucking childhood. I think that's what I'm going to call it. So just to go back, I've had a crazy childhood in the best way and in a lot of bad ways. But most of these stories I'm going to talk about on the podcast and in general, like I'm going to do one per podcast, I think, if I feel like it today. That day. Today I'm going to. But anyways, most of these are going to be really fun stories, at least for me. Fun memories, crazy memories. And hopefully they're entertaining to you. And then maybe one day I'll say something that is like a little more like, whoa, what a fucking freak. So this first one, I'm going to call it Skull Island because that's what it's all about. I wrote some of it down, so I had some notes to refer to. But if I can do it all up here, all off the top, I'll be really happy. So I love nature. I've always loved nature. In Canada, 'twas where I was born. I always was outside playing and shit. And my cousin, Jonathan, was one of my best friends during my childhood, and we loved adventuring together. And we decided one time, we're like, hey, you know what we're going to do? Bear Grylls it. Minimal supplies. Let's go to the fucking forest and rough it. We loved calling it roughing it. Let's go to the fucking forest and rough it. And that's what we decided to do. So, supplies-wise, very minimal. We had like a lighter, a knife. I think I had flint and steel. Didn't bring it actually, I think, because we brought the lighter. And we didn't even take the boat. I don't know why we didn't take the boat. We should have taken the boat. But anyways, I got a bit ahead of myself. So we have minimal supplies. We brought a laptop so we could watch like a scary movie out on Skull Island, which Skull Island it's a bit of a trek to get to, if I'm going to say it frankly. So you have to walk in the middle of the fucking boonies for 2 hours on foot, which we could have driven, but we wanted an adventure. So my cousin and I have all this gear that we're just lugging on our backs like a bunch of mules. And mules we brought all of those things that we had on our back to deep into the forest, lakeside, where we had a cottage that we shared with someone. And also having voice cracks is normal, so shut the fuck up. Okay? You're pissing me off, dude. We had all of our shit and we got there finally. By the time we got there, it was still a little bit of daylight. I think it was starting to get like dusk, and long walk, especially carrying all that shit. It was super dumb. And instead of taking the boat that we had readily available to us, this metal boat with 2 big oars, and we could have put all our shit in there, we're like, no, let's rough it. This is why we brought this floaty circle tube thing with a bottom that no water could get in for. So we could put all our fucking supplies in that, and we could tow it whilst we are on like this surfboard thing, this like windboard, a fucking windboard or something. So we're sitting on the windboard with our legs crossed. Amazing adventure though. This is fucking beautiful out there. Canadian adventure, dude. So we have that, and we're holding onto a rope which has all our shit in it, like a fucking laptop, like dumbass. And we go through the channel, which is like this windy, lakey type thing. Then we're 45 minutes paddling, just paddling, get to the island, set up. Amazing time. Still having an amazing adventure until nightfall, when I don't know if we ended up, let me think if we made a fire or something. I think we did. I think we were able to make a fire because of the lighter, and that's about it. And we cooked up like beans, had a fucking amazing adventure, and then put the fire out. We were like, hey, let's watch this movie. We're going to watch this movie on the laptop, and we don't have any beds. We have nowhere to sleep. We have no shelter. If it started raining, it would be really bad. We get into the tube, because we were pretty small. We were like maybe 13 or something like that. Dumbass, stupid ass, bitch ass 13-year-olds. And we're sitting in that. I think we have a blanket too. And we'd have the blanket. We're chilling in it. Pretty romantic, I know. We're watching John Wick, of all things. I think it was John Wick. Is that Keanu Reeves movie? Let me check. Let me see if it's fucking John Wick. John Wick. Yep, that's the Keanu. Is this the Keanu Reeves? Is this the right one, though? With angels and shit? I don't know. I think it was John Wick. And we got a good chunk into John Wick, but as nightfall came, so did the fucking mosquitoes, dude. It was the worst amount of mosquitoes I've ever experienced in my entire life. It was miserable. We were hiding from them underneath the blanket, trying to just like tough it out and watch this, because we wanted to feel like men. We wanted to earn our Canadian stripes. Ugh! And we couldn't, because it started raining and we didn't have any shelter except for this fucking tube-like thing, this bigger tube so that two younger boys could sit in. Boys being boys, watching John Wick in the fucking woods on Skull Island. And then the rain came and all the fucking mosquitoes came in, and it was the most miserable thing of all time. And at this point, pitch black, barely any moon, because there was clouds, of course, it was raining. And we said to ourselves, hey, this is fucked. Let's go back. But how are we going to go back? We don't have any way of getting home. We won't be able to see our way back to not only towing ourselves at night on this lake, trying to find our way back to the cottage area, and then finding our way back home from the fucking forest. Granted, there was a trail, but 2 hours of trail in the forest. It's almost fucking impossible. So we decided we were going to do it, and we tried. We made our way back to the land after far too much time in the water, like paddling. Once again, we're on this like wind surfing board without the wind surf, so we're just sitting on there paddling, and we're towing our gear. And we get back and we have to walk and try to find our way. And I remember this being some of the most insane, scary moments of my childhood, because, dude, in Canada, in the fucking dojo, I was not in the dojo yet, so I wasn't safe. Walking back, we had no light. We didn't have any flashlight. All we had, so of course I lied, we did have some light, but all we had was this little lighter. Not even a good lighter, just a regular lighter, and to see for one split second to see if we were on the trail, which also there were many other trails that trailed off. Trails, I'm going to say trails again so that I don't go trails, but just to make sure we were on a trail, we'd be flashing the lighter every like 5 seconds, just flash lighter, boom, flash of light, you can see a little bit in front of you. Terrified as we were, because it was raining and pitch black, and it's a 2-hour walk if you know where you're going, which I didn't know where I was going. But on top of that, we also heard terrible, terrible noises following us. Not ghosts or any bullshit, but like maybe a fucking wolf or a coyote, which I know coyotes are supposed to be less aggressive. Something sounded very large in the dark. But that's one of those things too, where it's like in the dark, those little noises while you're camping sound like something 10 times bigger than it actually is. But as a 13, 14-year-old, it didn't fucking matter how big it was. We were like, that's big, holy fuck. And we were trying to make big noises. And we were so terrified, so bitch terrified, actually. We were not only making loud noise, but like, let's sing a fucking song really, really loud, scream the song as we're trying to get back, and hopefully we'll get back, and hopefully this fucking thing won't eat us. And it was like 3 hours of walking, and we're lugging some of our gear, some of it we just fucking left behind. It didn't matter. And we were singing loud and like, fucking stay away, bear, with my cousin. Man, we made it home. And that's that story. Oh, I'm out of breath from it. A sea bear circle. Sammy Joe said I should have drawn a sea bear circle. Very topical. Well, not currently topical, but topical to SpongeBob. Everybody loves SpongeBob, so. But man, seriously, one of the most fucking terrifying things that's ever happened to me, because I thought I was either going to die. Oh no, that's about it. I thought I was just going to die because something was going to kill us. Because bears, man, in Canada. And there was this thing where like bears, I forget what kind of bear. I remember years ago as a child, a young boy, we were told, hey, this kind of bear is more afraid of you than you are it. But this kind of bear is more aggressive. But any bear is fucking aggressive if you're near its kids. So don't get near a bear's kids, which I have one time. Maybe I'll tell that on the next podcast with my cousin John. Dirt biking. Maybe I'll tell it next time. But yeah, we were told that certain bears were not aggressive. And then all of a sudden, years went by and they're like, actually, those bears are just as aggressive, whether it's black or brown, I forget which one, but they're just as aggressive as the other bear. So now there are 2 species of bear, species, that are terribly dangerous. Both bears will eat you with no regrets. So, as an older kid, again, I imagine being terrified of both was even worse. Camping was hard because bears. I remember there being fucking bear traps at a camping place we would go to. Big giant bear traps. People all around, bear traps. But for the most part, I imagine the bears want like the food that people leave out, right? But who gives a shit? What do we got? Moving on over. Oh yeah. I wanted to update you guys on what's going on at Sugar Pine 7. So, last week, I think I told you guys that we were working on a song. We were going to release it this week, but it got pushed. It's gotten pushed. It has got pushed to next week sometime, maybe sooner, but it's finished now. Steve and I have been working on this one for a while, and it's gone through so many different versions because it was poppier before, and now we slowed it down a little bit, and we're like, well, you know what? Not every song needs to be super fucking poppy. Gotta have some B tracks. Can't have all bangers, you know? But yeah, I feel like I ran through most of what I wanted to talk about. And now it's just me in the dojo, killing it and chilling it. I know, 28 minutes. Did it seem like I was talking fast? Huh. I wonder if that's okay. Or if maybe I should try to talk slower. Like, let me say that line. Maybe I should talk a little bit slower. Oh, it sounded weird. All right, normal speed it is. But now it's time to go off the top, like a rapper. I'm on the fucking podcast, man. I'm really, really, truly happy and excited to be doing this. It's one of those things that I wanted to have. I said this last podcast too, but I wanted to have a foundation of something on this channel that was like happening, that people were excited about, even if it's just a few people, you know? And it's so cool to have a podcast. Everyone has got a podcast though. That's the thing. It really took the fucking YouTube game by storm. But it's just so fun.
Who are your favorite podcasters?
My favorite podcasters? I love H3H3. I love Tiger Belly. I love Fighter and the Kid. I love Crystalia's podcast. Those are pretty much it. That's about it. Oh, Theo Vaughn's podcast is really cool too. He's great. So shout out to all of those people. Theo Vaughn does his solo too.
Did you ever say Bobby Lee?
Yeah, Bobby Lee, Tiger Belly. They're great. Yeah, Crystal does his solo. Not Bobby Lee. Theo Vaughn does his solo. And it's tough, man. I'm two podcasts in. It's tough, man. Trust me. That's like the working out shit. Which, update, I think I've gone 6 or 7 times to the gym now. Gotta be swole by now. You know?
You should show your
And then
progress.
my progress? Oh, fuck. Sammy Joe's like, you should show your progress. Let me just fucking flex on you. Fuck.
The audio listeners.
Listen, for the audio listeners, you can't tell, but I'm flexing crazy, dude. But also another update on Naked Boy in the change room. I just moved everything. No.
Did he listen to your podcast?
That'd be terrible if he listened to the podcast. But he's like, what? What, man? It's a change room. It's where people get changed. I think he's still, every time, I think he's on the same schedule as me. He goes to the gym the same fucking times I do. And he's naked every single time. And very confident about it. Good for him. I'm just not there, you know? I have no problem with shape, size, color, taste, flavor, whatever, smell. None of it. All of that stuff I'm pretty confident in. You know? I just don't want to be... I think I don't want to make other people uncomfortable.
That's what those rooms are for.
I don't know. Sammy just said she thinks that those rooms, that's what they're for. There was somebody that said on the last podcast, like, hey man, grow up. That's what they're for. Hey man, fuck you. Get the fuck out of the dojo, dude. This is where we don't, here we don't show our dick and our balls. But I guess that's not there. I'm not mad at it. I just think it's funny. It's very funny that people still do that. Because as much as it's whatever to get naked in front of another guy, it's also super easily avoided. So that, because clearly there's still people that don't really like it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care that much, but don't want to see another naked guy. You know what I mean? Don't want to have to like feel awkward whatsoever, even the littlest bit, especially because it's avoidable. You can put your towel around and shimmy it up. That's what we do. And I talked about that on the last pod. But it's fine too. I've gotten used to it. You know? I kind of like it. It's part of my fucking ritual. I go, I work out, I expect there to be a man standing in front of the mirror, cheeks out for the boys. And I expect to see it. But if he's not there one day, I'll be pretty upset or totally comfortable. But oh well, there's nothing I can do about it. But you know what? I don't feel bad for feeling a little weird about it because all of the other guys that are in the change room don't do that. Every single guy. I know I haven't even looked directly at you guys in a long time because I'm kind of like looking at Sammy Joe, but all of the other guys do what I do and they shimmy. They've got to be a part of the dojo, you know? So it's just one confident guy who doesn't care, and that's okay. And like I said, he's part of my ritual now. He needs to be there. But Sammy Jo and I worked out today. She's been working out with me on Saturdays, getting in the gains. You know what's super fucking weird? I know you won't care, but do any of you have allergies? Do any of you have allergies? I didn't hear a reply. Cool. Well, anyways, I was looking up, can I take, more than my recommended dose of like Allegra or allergy medication? Because we had a friend say that an allergist said that she could, and that you could, it's just the dose on the box, but you can double the dose just like you can ibuprofen and stuff. And I don't know about that. I did some research and it says, no, you actually can't do that. Do not exceed 180 milligrams within a day. And there's all these terrible side effects, which I didn't even dude, how is there so many side effects on everything? I'm aware that's been around forever on all medication, and it doesn't affect everyone. Not everyone gets the side effect. I'm just measuring. This is the second time I've done that. This far away, my chair needs to be from the wall to be okay. But yeah, so there's just so many fucking side effects for allergy medication. It's like dizziness, and 7 other. Dizziness, diarrhea, headache, all this bullshit, pregnancy, severed limbs, just terrible, terrible things. And it's one of those things that it's like, how have we not gotten to the point where we can do medicine without adverse side effects? But oh well. CBD. Yeah, I want to do more research about CBD. The CBD has gotten really big in Los Angeles. There's like CBD all these stores, like coffee shops, like even like, is it at Starbucks or fucking?
Not those chains, but
Not those chains apparently, but other coffee shops that are just like regular coffee shops that have been there forever that are pretty popular have like they advertise CBD, which is crazy because CBD does not get you high. It's just the healing effects, and I'm just doing this because I don't truly know anything about it, but it's just gotten very popular. And one of our friends said that they took it for some sort of pain or something that Autumn for what? Oh, she said it on the podcast, right? Was it sleeping? Oh, no, it was headaches, I thought.
That's me.
Oh, it's you.
Headaches.
You get headaches.
Crohn's.
Yeah, anyways, a lot of people swear by it. And there's a lot of people out there. It's a very touchy subject because some people are very against weed to the point where like any information about anything like CBD, they refuse to believe, and they stick with what they think. Nope, if it's part of the drug, it's a drug and nobody should be using it. There's other medication that they could be using. But I think it all goes down to if you're against drugs, you're against, I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but you know, the type of person that I'm talking about is against like people using drugs that get you high and are addictive. And there's the whole world that goes into that. But like, if you think about CBD, which is, again, just simply do research on it. And I could be wrong, but if you get it without the THC, you do not get high, and it's non-addictive, I believe, too.
Yes.
Now, I'm as far as I know, I want to do more research on it, just because information is power, and I'm running for president next. But yeah. Yes, that's right. Yeah, kids that have seizures. I forget where I heard that, but kids who are having fucking seizures, man. I used to have seizures all the time, and I just stopped having them. Or no, I didn't stop having them. Holy fuck, I passed out.
That's different.
Syncope seizures. So I have, it's not, the last time, I think I said on a podcast, I got colposcopy seizures, which is a fucking vaginal exam. No one called me out on it. People went, oh, that sounds right. Yeah, that sounds right. Colposcopy seizures. Totally, that sounds right. Yeah, vaginal exam seizures. Okay. Oh, wait. Doesn't have a vagina. Syncope seizures. Yeah. So in my childhood, I used to have not traditional seizures, and I would have these frequently, and they got less and less. Now, I think we've boiled it down to my blood pressure dropping. Like when I was a kid, I remember one time I was up on the counters, and must have been like 8 or 6 even, and I was on the counters like with my feet opening the drawer, and it was like stuck for some reason, and I fucking pulled it and knocked it against my head, and I started immediately getting super woozy, and like my blood pressure dropped, and I passed out, and yeah, I mean it's a strange thing with me, and like I almost passed out when I had the scar on my fucking finger because when we were in the Van Nuys office for Sugar Pine 7, James, I think it was James. He was holding a knife, and I grabbed the edge of it, and I assumed in that bit that he was aware that I was holding a blade that had a serrated, if that's the correct word, edge on both sides. So no matter how, if he decided to pull it, it would hurt me. I thought, no, I'm just going into this because now that I've explained it, I'd like to explain how stupid that is too. I thought that he would not pull the blade that I was holding out of my hand. But he did. He did do that. I think it was James. Love you, James, by the way. But you fucking scarred me, man, and almost made me pass out. So I'm fucking complaining, okay? And this is my dojo. And in my dojo, we get it all out. It's like we can just say what we want. That's what it is. So when that happened and he pulled it out of my hand, of course, terrible cut on my hand. And I immediately just, my blood pressure drops. I don't know if that's like a phobia in my head of getting cut or, but like, I'm not freaking out. Like I know when that shit happens and I'm feeling fine. Like I'm not thinking anything bad about it. I'm just like, oh, that sucks. But then all of a sudden, I get like fucking a wave of just like, I feel nauseous and lightheaded and short of breath and I need to breathe. Like my body just starts freaking out. I'm not mentally freaking myself out thinking I'm like, oh fuck, I'm going to die. Like I'm not a fucking lunatic. What's that?
We freak out about fingers.
Well, that's more just like it makes me squeamish.
But that's what's in your head subconsciously, and when you get
Maybe, yeah. But that's what I mean. Like it's not on my mind. I'm not thinking this sucks. Holy shit, I'm going to die. I'm freaking out. I don't like this. It's just like oh fuck. And then I instantly goes, I just feel it. But anyway, so I used to pass out all the time as a kid and recently found out from a doctor here because I've passed out a few times here, right? Was it been a few times? I think it's been a few times. Maybe once in the past year or something like that. And that was going to the doctors. And I never used to get that freaked out at the doctors or like feel sick at the doctors until recently. And I was getting a bunch of shots and like vaccines and shit because you have to when you immigrate to the country if you haven't already got them, or maybe they give them to you anyways. I don't know. But I just after the shot, I think I still needed one. They gave me they gave me 2 or 3 out of 4. And then after that, I was like, oh, it's not that bad. I feel fine. You know what I mean? But my subconscious snook up on me and gave me that wave of, not feeling so good. And then I just wake up and I'm like, I remember like trying to wake up. I had fallen back onto the bed and I was trying to wake up out of the dream I was having or whatever. Cause I remember like dreaming and trying to like wake up. And then that's what looks like a seizure to everyone else. Cause I'm like moving.
It follows fainting.
Yeah, and it follows fainting. Exactly. What do you mean? No, the fainting is the syncope seizure, isn't it?
No, so you pass out, but then the seizure-looking thing is you.
Oh, that's the syncope?
You just have a seizure. You fainted.
Exactly. Yeah. So exactly. So a syncope seizure is when you just faint due to whatever reason, and then it looks like you're having a seizure because you're trying to like wake up from it, and your brain's not fully. It hasn't come to. I think. Now I don't really know, but it sucks. Yeah, Sammy Joe gets like lightheaded, but you don't pass out, right?
Oh, I do.
Huh?
When I pass out, I have the seizure-looking thing too. That's why I wasn't concerned because I get it.
But that doesn't happen frequently to you. Like you'll feel sick and likely not pass out. Whereas I'll feel sick and then fucking pass out.
I seize
Huh.
these days. And the doctor made me.
When's the last time you passed out?
I think when I got this cyst.
Oh, yeah.
Hurt, but
Yeah, Sammy Jo has this like bump on her
And last time we went to the
her wrist.
doctor and I almost fainted.
True. Yeah, the female doctor.
Every time
Last time we went to the female doctor.
it was a male.
The pussy doctor.
Want to talk about gynos?
Oh, yeah, that's very true. Here, this is just a fun thing. Being a married man.
Well, you didn't finish the other story.
What was I going to say?
You seized and then threw up.
Oh, yeah, I guess that wasn't part of it. I was just talking about how I used to have seizures all the time. I don't even know where that story was going. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I threw up that day that I had a syncope seizure and passed out from the needles. I felt sick and nauseous in the car after all the needles and we drove home. As soon as we got home, I was like, I'm gonna fucking throw up. And then in front of the car, I'm just throwing up everywhere. And it smelled like puke. Of course it did. It smelled like puke for a long time, actually. Let me think about it was a long time that it smelled like puke. But you got to do what you got to do. And there was puke on my shirt, and we put it on the balcony, and it's still there. And that's the grossest thing. That's the grossest thing that we've ever done. I don't know why we don't move it. I think it's for me, laziness. I don't care that it's out there, but God, I can promise you, we are much better than that. We're much better than leaving a puke stained shirt on your balcony for months and months and months and months. But we've learned a lot about each other in this podcast. You know, you, me, Dupree. But let me talk about gynos real quick too, because as a married man, you go with your wife to the gyno and you go in the room, especially because she's nervous about it and she gets a little fainty like I do when I go to the doctor. So I got to be there for her as per request. And I would want her there for me with the pee-pee doctor. Probably not, actually, now that I think about it. You'd pass out and you'd see some dude touching my pee-pee. Or some girl. Is that cheating? Yeah. Okay. We'll make sure it's a boy. But I go with her, as you do. And it's a very awkward experience for me to see another man, a very happy man, Which, by the way, hey, don't be that happy that you get to touch vaginas all the day long. I mean, I love that he loves his job. I think that's great. But it's the fact that the job that he loves is touching vaginas all day. That's funny to me. I'm also joking. Love your job. But there's a funny take there that it's weird that he loves his job that much because he's touching vaginas all day. But I'm in the room and I just have to watch. And I don't watch, though. I'm just looking away. He is not touching her vagina right now, is he? Nope. No, he is not. And the breast exam, too. Yes, they are nice. I know. Could you imagine if a fucking gyno said that? Wow. These are great. That's true. Are you sexually active? Can you imagine? We're going through a rough patch. Are you sexually active? I don't. Like a little, yeah. Would you say once or twice a week? Well, a little, like less than that. Once or twice a month. Well, like a little, less than that even. Okay, are we talking bi-yearly? Yeah, bi-yearly. That sounds about right. Once or twice a year. Then the husband's just there like, yeah, she's crazy. I don't know. Would you stay out of her business, Doc? And then he doesn't. Because that's his job. And that's okay. And that's why I'm going to be a gyno. But I don't want to be. I have to be. It's my calling. I wanted to be a fucking pediatrician when I was younger, believe it or not. Kids just love me.
They love you.
They do. Kids love me and they stare at me. And I think kids are great. I used to love holding babies when I was like 12 because I just thought babies were awesome. And I wanted to be a gyno, but I didn't want to work. I mean, not a gyno. Fuck. I have gyno stuck in my mind. I didn't want to be a pediatrician because, I mean, I did want to be a pediatrician, but I decided not to because as I got older and into like high school, I realized that, oh my God, you have to work hard to do anything good. And then I realized, oh, you don't have to work that hard to do YouTube and shit. No, you do have to work hard to make it work. Or you get really lucky. But I didn't want to put in the work for like the grades and shit. I just wanted to coast along in high school, figure out what I wanted to do that I loved that didn't feel like a lot of work, and then put work into that. And then I'd be working twice as hard as the people who are working hard to be, traditionally, good jobs that maybe they just did it because they're smart and they don't really. I don't know if there is a lot of people like that. Is there a lot of people? I'm talking about a specific type of person that might not even exist, but I guess that's what I like to imagine those people that don't like their job, so that I can feel like I'm doing, like I made it. Doctors and lawyers must fucking hate their life. No, they probably all love it. But I found what I loved, and I worked hard to get to this point too. And that's what you have to do. And now it's a motivational point of the dojo. We are nearing the end of our class. We're not quite there. But I just want to say to you guys, you can do it too with can do. You really can, man. Whatever it is you want to do, you should do it. And also, if you have any questions or any stories, maybe I'll start reading submitted stories, but you guys can email grandmasterpod@gmail.com with just whatever you want to say. And I might read them. I might not. I might read them on the podcast. But that's a safe place for you to go ahead and email Grandmaster with a question. An advice column. Yeah, actually, that's a great idea too. Oh, yeah. Let's do an advice column. Totally. That's a thing other podcasts do, but I like that. Why not? I don't know what we'll call it. Fucking advice with Kib. Oh. That sounds great. I can give pretty good advice. I was one of those people growing up that when like high school friends got into relationships or had trouble girl trouble, you know? I'm going through girl trouble. I gave you a great advice, but I couldn't take my own advice as a young man, which I think is relatable. Everybody thinks they give good fucking advice too, you know? Everybody's like, ugh, same. I give such good advice. I just can't take my own advice. Life is hard. Life is hard. But now, I take my own advice. I think. I like to think. Yeah. What advice have you given me? Oh, no, I don't. Oh, she said, I'll clean your room. Oh, no, I don't. No, I don't take your advice. Your advice is bullshit. Ugh. What'd you say? Drink water. I do drink more water for sure.
Maybe you get Perrier to sponsor you.
That'd be amazing. Where is it? You know what I've cut out of my fucking life and I'm so happy about it? Juice. And soda with sugar in it. I'm getting claps over there. And so should you. Here's the thing. I know this isn't like super wild information to talk about, but if any of you want to stop drinking fucking juice because there's so much sugar in it, or like soda and stuff like that, just try drinking like Perrier or Saint Pellegrino or any of the other good ones, or like get a soda stream that works. Because once you force yourself to like it, it's one of those things that feels like an acquired taste. When I first started drinking it, I was like, oh, I like the bubbles, but it's kind of fucking gross. I don't really like it. And then the more I drank it, the more I forced myself to drink it, it became real. And now I actually crave the fuck out of just carbonated water. And now I don't need to drink pop because it does the same thing. It fucking quenches my thirst, makes me feel like I'm drinking something bad for you, which I love. But I feel great. And you should do that too. I still haven't figured out the secret to eating better though, you know, and not fucking ordering out. I used to be so fucking bad at ordering out. I used to order out every single day, even if it was cheap stuff, but that was terrible for me. And now my fucking metabolism is slowing down. So I got to figure that shit out, which I am. I think I'm doing pretty good. Portion control, hitting the gym hard, trying to get a better bod. You know? Fuck! That's how it's done. So I just want to say once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. It's a fun thing to do. I want to do that advice column. I want to talk about your stuff. Hopefully let's do like relationship advice and stuff like that. If you have any relationship things, whether it's romantic relationships or family relationships or anything at all. If you have any advice you want, I'll give it to you. I won't be super serious about it because I'm trying to have fun on this podcast. Because I like to have fun on the podcast. But if there's serious things, I'll simply tell you the answer that I have. But I don't have the answer for everything because I'm not God yet. But maybe one day.
Do you know Grandmaster is 9th degree black belt?
Grandmaster's a real
Yeah.
Really?
So a master is at 7th.
No fucking way. We just learned something insane. Grandmaster.
Grandmaster Kim was my grandmaster.
No way. I'm so happy right now. I'm self-proclaimed 9th black belt. 9th degree black belt. Amazing. Grandmaster is a real 9th degree black belt. That's what that is. Unreal. Is there any higher than that? What's the highest black belt there is?
I Googled it and it said 10th
10th
degree.
degree? Then why did I not call myself whatever 10th degree was?
Name is not as exciting.
It's just like millennial black belt. 10th degree. Defeats all.
What's higher than that?
Self-proclaimed.
What's the highest black belt in the world?
Yeah. Like what? You can't advance anymore?
98-year-old who's 4'10" and 100 pounds.
Okay, but
Is the highest
what's his black belt?
10th degree black belt.
Oh, he's 10th degree. That's the highest black belt there is.
Handful of men have-
Huh?
A woman has never gotten this honor.
Wow, a woman has never gotten this honor. That's because women need to get out there and do it more. That's why.
Hey, I'm a black belt.
This is super funny. Okay, I'm going to talk about this.
You know what?
So, Sammy Jo is a black belt. Did anyone know that? I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was. I did know she was from like the beginning of our relationship. But She's a fucking black belt. And I think that's amazing. I think it's impressive. But I also think it's bullshit.
I'm going to show you home videos and then you'll close your mouth.
Listen, if I can beat you up,
Okay,
you're not a black belt. That's how this is.
well, my form and my weapon crisp.
I could give you any weapon in the world that isn't a gun and still beat you up.
Should I do a nunchuck demonstration?
I know you can do nunchucks. I'm not saying you're not trained to a certain degree.
Form, like, I'm really crispy.
That's awesome too. But I guess here's the thing. I thought that black belt was something that you earned and you were amazing at fighting people
Not necessarily.
to actually acquire.
Well, more goes into it. Like, I break boards.
Yeah, that's less that goes into it. She's like, one more goes into it. I break boards. That's less that goes into it.
Form.
Can you beat up people?
I'm not strong.
I know. You're so sweet.
I was never good at sparring.
I think it's really funny. And I think it's sweet.
But I was a prodigy for real.
You're a prodigy for real.
The parents said that. The parents who watched said to my mom, "Wow, do you see that?"
Do you see that?
Prodigy, and Mom was like, "Yeah, that's
Oh my God, do you see that? She's the only little kid not shitting their pants. She's a prodigy. How old were you when you got your black belt? 9.
I started when I was 7.
See, to me, not to diminish any of that, I think it's amazing. I think as a 9-year-old, becoming a black belt, what an amazing thing. You got out there, you had fun, you were part of a community, you learned karate, taekwondo. I had a little mixed martial arts, just saying, for like several years. I trained hard. No, I don't have any belt. I think I got one up from white. I did karate as a kid too. Yellow, maybe, yeah. But I remember we had to buy them too. But here's the thing. Here's why I can't validate your black belt. I can't. I love you so much. More than anything in the world, I can't validate your black belt. Because you were 9 years old. You were 9 years old. And it sounds like being someone that grew up in a very like upper class type thing. I think you were in a world that was up. You were from Deerfield, Illinois. So that's a bit of a bougie place. Just saying. But so you were in an area where the businesses provided for bougie people. Therefore, no, I'm not saying that you were bougie. I'm saying the businesses in Deerfield were catering to bougie people. So that means people that went there wanted to advance their kid and just wanted to throw money at the establishment.
Every month I got a new belt.
But can you even do that? Like, if I do research, are you allowed to test a fucking 8-year-old or a 9-year-old every month until they get a black belt? Like, there's got to be some sort of...
I was just so good.
There's got to be some sort of, like, clear lines that you have to be able to do to get to a black belt position. But maybe I just know nothing about this, and anyone at any age can be a black belt. But if that's the case, I don't give a fuck about. I can't validate it. Once again, going back, I think it's amazing. It's impressive. It's so sweet. But it sounds like there is a but. It sounds like that place just wanted the money. You know what I mean? And for the kid to have a fun experience rather than like, you will not get a black belt till you're 42. I think that's just what I wanted it to be. In my mind, I want karate to be, you know what? I have to work 20 years to get a black belt. Then when you have a black belt, because to me, when I think of black belt, I go, I will not fuck with that person. But your 9-year-old ass as a black belt, I'd beat the shit out of you. You know what I mean?
I wish I didn't test as quickly through as I did because when it came tournament time,
Right.
I got the shit beat out of me.
Right. But
I couldn't
that's what I mean.
wear a black belt.
Why does it make sense to have a black belt if you're not even ready for a black belt? You were probably like a yellow belt, honestly. Like,
Yellow belt's the second belt. I was really good.
I know you were really good. But doesn't it have to do with fighting and stuff too? Like, actually, I don't know. I guess I just don't know. It's super funny to me. I still like the idea of like, it's funny that you as a 9-year-old had a black belt because I don't think that you deserved a black belt. But who the fuck am I? You know what I mean? You're gonna beat me up? Yeah. I'm gonna fuck. I could beat you up. Excuse me? I can kick to the face too. Because I did MMA, mixed martial arts, a lot of Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I was really into the UFC when I was younger, and then I dropped off after several years and just kept the bare minimum of the amount of knowledge. And that's enough for me to beat your 9-year-old black belt ass. Well, guys, thanks for watching Grandmaster Pod. Don't forget to follow me on social medias at NotKib. The podcast is on Spotify, should be up there. And it's on it should be on every platform at this point. Okay. I'm still figuring it out. I'm trying to get to a point where it's going to go up on every platform the same day, or like it'll be on iTunes this day every week and Spotify this day every week. But I think it should be up by Tuesday, on Spotify, because the first one's up. So go listen to it, save it. It really helps out. Rate and review it if you can, if it's on iTunes right now, even the first episode, if you want to go back and support this baby. So I'll see you guys in the next one. You may now leave the dojo. Grandmaster, peacing the fuck out.